You know, especially from somebody who is, what do I say? There's some things that we're good at. Is that true? And there's some things that we're challenged at. These are challenging things. So I appreciate you hanging out and allowing us to figure out how to come back to adjusting in class, as well as being present, 100% present for those of you that are at home. And so thank you for helping us and being patient with that. The screen that usually is up so you can see the room while I adjust is not working today. So I will turn my computer once I finish talking here at the seat. So good morning, good morning, good morning. And happy Earth Week. I think every day is Earth Day, but somehow calendars suggest otherwise. And that's kind of nice because it does bring a ritual around something that's so powerful and beautiful. And so today I wanted to connect with the goddess Panchamama, which is the earth goddess. And she's one of those energies that help us to remember the abundance that we are. She also, if you look at her other, if you compare her to other goddesses, she would be like Lakshmi, the goddess Lakshmi. And so Panchamama is the goddess that reminds us to reclaim what it is that we give away. And that doesn't mean that when we're being generous, but it means that often we do not take or receive as much as we give away. We don't allow ourselves to be filled up and nourished as much as we nourish others. And so it's a really beautiful opportunity to see what abundance looks like that never takes away from us. And one of the if you guys don't mind on your end, can you mute yourselves? One of the things that I love is says a very powerful practice that Panchamama reminds us of is how to transform anything that seems like scarcity consciousness to abundance. And she says one way to do that is to look at Mother Earth and ask, can you count the blades of grass in the garden? Can you count the leaves on the tree? Can you count the drops of water in the river or the grains of sand on the ocean shore? And of course, our answer is we could never. So that same abundance, that same energy is exactly who we are. So close your eyes. And I was told that there's a little bit of buzzing when I drum, so I'm not drumming with the sticks, I'm drumming with my hands quietly. And this is a beautiful English chant. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says. If you listen, we'll do call and response. So just close your eyes and connect with that energy of abundance, an energy of earth, an awakening and reclaiming. We'll do call and response. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says. If you listen, try. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. It's the same sound as the river as she moves across the stones. It's the same sound as the river as she moves across the stones. It's the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. It's the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. Put your roots down, put your feet on the ground. You can hear what she says if you listen. It's the same sound as the river as she moves across the stones. It's the same sound as the river as she moves across the stones. It's the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. It's the same sound as the blood in your body as it moves across your bones. Are you listening? Are you listening? I am listening. I am listening. Goddess Panchamama, the abundant nature of each and every one of us, to reclaim, to note that whenever we give away, that we never deplete ourselves, yet to receive, to allow ourselves to be nourished, taken care of, supported. So as you find yourself ready, open your eyes and come forward into child's pose. And drop into your breath. Enjoy your breath. I love it's always said that the goddess, the god, is as close as your in-breath and your out-breath. There's one more very pretty rendition of that. It's only a minute long. Oh, actually, I don't think you guys are going to hear this on the other side. Come on up to your hands and knees and start with some cat and cow here. Eyes open or closed. Maybe even move this into some hip circles. Getting the shoulders to release. Getting the mind to drop. We're so good at giving of ourselves. We take care of others. Sometimes even overgiving. Has anybody ever done that? Go ahead and lift your hips up into downward facing dog. See if I can slide this around. You can pedal your heels here if you would like. There's your friends. So funny. I talk to my plants and call them friends. I talk to my dogs and call them friends. Everybody is friends. Come into that place of stillness. Drawing on the very deep breath. Something so powerful about breathing so deeply. And reclaiming that energy that's yours. That, you know, I always said, go ahead and walk to the front of your mat. When you're doing energy work with someone else, whether it's Reiki or whatever it is, or whatever your passion is that you're doing, it should never deplete you. You can get tired and throw yourself in bed at night and feel like, what a beautiful day. I'm tired, right? But it should never deplete your energy when you're doing the goddess work, when you're doing the work of the universe. Good. Bend your knees deeply, reach your arms forward and up. And then rise up to stand, interlace your palms and press straight out. Much as you reach up, press down. And then sit back into chair, releasing your hands down to your thighs and cat-cow here. Beautiful. Next time you look up, clasp your hands behind your back, pull your rib cage in, navel in, and bow forward, taking your arms up and over and down. Keep your arms behind your back, look forward, get long. And send your left leg back behind you, stay up on your toes. Keep your hands clasped behind you, but lift your chest up. Up. So you're in a high lunge with your arms behind your back. Good. From here, knee back. Keep sending your knees forward. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Beautiful. Bend your elbows, cactus arms, lean back. It's like this giant breath just came straight into your heart like a wind. Inhaling, exhaling, touch down, hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. Move forward to plank pose. Lift your throat. So you have the throat lifted, but the heart melting. Lower down slow to your belly. Rise up into cobra, lift up head, neck, and chest. Press back downward facing dog. Good. Walk or jump to the front of your mat, standing forward bend. Bend your knees deeply, reach your arms forward and up. Chair. Rise up to stand. Take a hold of your left wrist and pull to the right. Come back to center, switch sides. Come back to center, clasp your hands behind your back. Maybe you want to put the other thumb in, so you weave the hand the opposite direction to stretch the wrist a little different. Inhale here. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, look up. Keep the arms where they are. Send the right leg back behind you, up on your toes. Then inhale your torso up. Beautiful, dragging your hands down. But the ideal is here to keep the shoulders lifted, side body long. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Then bend the elbows and lean back, lean back. Gorgeous. Inhale deeply. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly. Nice, and rise up into cobra. Make it look pretty, legs powerful. Nice, Tracy, press back into child's pose. I was gifted with a statue of Panchamama, the goddess, the earth goddess. She's very, very beautiful. And on her statue, she has all the creatures of the earth. She's all the wild weeds. She's everything that pulsates. Everything in nature and nature of who we are is wealth and prosperity. And that even means with death. Death is not a deficit. It's a continuation. Come on up to your hands and knees. Slide your right arm out to the right, and then let it float underneath your left, threading the needle. Take your left arm forward or up to the sky. Keep that rib cage drawn in, that navel drawn in, so there's safety, this sense of protection. Beautiful, everybody, and then rise back up and subside. Breathing in and breathing out. Time of the year, reclaim. Walk up, hands and knees. Take your right knee in front of your left knee. And I know I do this a lot, but I love it. We're not sitting back between the heels. We're just sending our hips back slightly. And then reaching your arms forward. So it's like you're in a child's pose still, but you have your right knee stacked in front of your left knee. Now you send your hips back slightly so the sides of your hips get a bit of a stretch. You reach your arms forward. Go ahead and walk back up to your hands and knees and switch other knee in front. Separate your feet, spread your toes, and then sit your hips slightly back, walk your hands forward, spread your fingers, spread your toes. Longer exhales. Beautiful. Come on up to your hands and knees, downward facing dog. Please, I will push my muscle. Now, take your right ankle on top of your left knee, right ankle on top of your left knee, and then bend your left knee. And then send your hips high to the sky. Keep that left foot nice and flexed. Keep that that right foot nice and flexed, that left knee nice and bent. And then hips high. Yes. Pull your spine long. And then switch to the other side. Yes. That knee bend helps a little resistance. Good. Both feet on the floor. Walk or jump to the front of the mat. Standing forward bend. Put equal weight onto your heels and onto the mounds of your toes. Hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Close your eyes for a moment, releasing your arms alongside the body. Relax your skin. Right. Open the eyes. Hug your left knee into your chest. Place your left ankle on top of your right knee and sit back to chair. The things I want you to feel is your sit bones moving back and wide. So a lot of space. Left ankle on top of right knee. Good. Now clasp your hands behind your back and lean forward any amount. Shoulder blades on your back. Good. Rise back up. Release the foot down. And hug your right knee into your chest. Right ankle on top of left knee. Flex your right foot. Sit back into chair. Reach. So you're thinking side body as long as it will go, as long as you can create space. Your hands behind your back, shoulder blades on your back, lean forward any amount. Inhale, come on out, and both feet on the floor. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Beautiful, everybody. Step back, plank pose. And take it through your vinyasa, whatever that looks like to you, maybe none. Nice job. Beautiful, Jackie, Lisa, Elisa. And Sharon, downward facing dog. All right, inhale that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Bring your heel to your butt, open up, stacking that right hip. And then bring that right knee forward for a pigeon. If you happen to be a pigeon person on your back, float over onto your back. Squeeze your knees toward each other, hollow your belly, navel stays in, and walk forward, bringing your forehead onto the mat. First day, I realized I could have a conversation with a tree. That I could feel the pulsation, the dandelion stem. The phase of the moon really matters. There's a little ego that we've come to have as human beings. A bit more humble as the wisdom of Mother Nature. The prosperity is not just what is seen on the outside, but what is felt on the inside. So if there feels like there's a deficit Try to count the blades of grass. And so now, as you walk up, swing your left leg forward and bring your left knee on top of your right knee, Gomukhasana. If that doesn't work for you, bring your left shin in front of your right shin and cross it. So why that wouldn't work is if your left knee is really high up. You want to try to stack one knee on top of the other. That works well. Good. Good. And then if you can walk forward, if this feels enough, stay upright. And again, something underneath your seat might work really well. You know, some of us make this pose look very easy. And for that, I have jealousy. In a good way. Like I'm thrilled it looks good on you. But it's one of those poses that you really do want to be honest with. Because if your knee is super high, you're just really locking in that top groin. So instead, bringing the shin in front of the shin is going to be more accessible instead of the knee on top. Good. Walk it forward, step back, downward facing dog. Take it through vinyasa of choice or none at all. And then we're going to inhale that left leg back and up behind you. Bring your left knee forward for pigeon. Squeeze your knees toward each other. Your low belly, take your rib cage in. And then again on your back if that's for you today. And then come forward. Earthy element, that first chakra, second, third. We walk this earth. And then exhale. Beautiful. As you walk yourself back up, slide your right knee on top of your left knee. Maybe sitting up on a blanket. If you're doing shin in front of shin, left shin in front of right shin, or left shin on top, make sure you pull those toes back so the feet are flexed well. Again, find what's best for you today. Is it moving forward? Is it staying upright? Feel yourself breathing all the way down into the belly. All the way down into the pelvis. This is one of those moments that's like too much information, but to meditate, to hang out with your mind down at your roots, down into your pelvis, just to really keep your attention there and breathe. The sex organs, into the places that are very intimate. Nobody talks about it. There's a freedom to place your mind there and breathe deeply. Beautiful. Rise back up. Step back, downward facing dog. And drop down to those knees and press back into child's pose. Reclaim your sacred self-worth in order to invite in the abundant blessings that you are. You must create more harmony in your giving and receiving, where that natural flow gets blocked. Instead of blaming someone else for not receiving your self-worth, let's heal ourselves. It's tender healing. It's feeling of deserving. To notice when we are overgiving. For what reason? So your giving should never deplete you, should never take away from you. Counting the blades of grass. Taking your upper body to the right side of the mat. Take your upper body to the left side of the mat. Good. Come back onto your hands and knees, downward facing dog. Again, inhaling that right leg back and up behind you, down dog split. Feel that length, feel that drawing up and out of yourself, and then feel yourself pulling into yourself. Step your right foot forward, bend your knee, and walk your hands inside your right foot. Make some hip circles here. Keep your back, so turn toward the front of your mat. Oh yeah, keep your back heel lifted. Just do some hip circles here. Go in both directions, feeling that rib cage lifting. And always lower your back knee. And then see if you can come to stillness, but walk your hands forward to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. And maybe dissolve down to your elbows or stay right where you are. Remember to keep a little rounding in your middle back. And if your back knee is dropped, there's this wonderful feeling of squeezing your knees toward each other. And if your back leg is lifted, try to lift your back thigh a little higher and swoop your right belly up and away from your right thigh. And then take your right arm up to the sky. Take that arm over your ears. And pull that right inner thigh away from your little belly. Pull it away. And then as you release your right hand down, walk your hands back in and then walk to the left until you come to the center of the mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn left, left, left. So you're facing the long side of your mat and then bow here. Make sure your feet are parallel to each other. Let yourself exhale just a little bit more. Place your hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Turn your right toes to the front of the mat, bend your right knee, Virabhadrasana 2, second warrior. Now, bend your left knee for a moment, your back knee. Feel yourself dropping into your pelvis, get heavy. And I want to say heavy and open. It's almost as if there's this like space of openness happening. And try to keep that and straighten your back leg. But take your right forearm onto your right thigh, take your left arm over your side angle. Release your hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Vinyasa of choice, none at all. Hands and knees, child's pose. Beautiful. Ending up in downward facing dog. Second side. Inhaling that left leg back and up behind you, down dog split. And then look forward, see where your foot will land and step your left foot forward, soft landing. Walk both hands inside and hip circles. Take the circles in the opposite direction. And come to stillness and drop your elbows down to the floor or straight arms. You're going to keep that slight rounding in your middle back. You can always play with letting your left knee drop out to the left, being on your baby toe side of your foot. What gives you the most opening? But the real trick here is to make sure that left shin stays active. So squeezing in. And if you have your foot falling out, give yourself a little fun by keeping it there as the left arm comes up to the sky. And then stretch it over your ear. And releasing your hand down, walk to your right until you come to the center of your mat. Prasarita Padottanasana and bow. Hug those outer hips, widen those inner thighs. Feel the weight evenly on your heels and on your toes, and then hands on your hips. Push down through your legs, rise up to stand. Turn your left toes to the front of the mat, bend your left knee, Virabhadrasana 2. And then bend your back knee just to have that moment of really releasing earthbound, gravity bound. Try to keep that energy of dropping into the pelvis, straighten that back leg. Left forearm on left thigh, right arm over your ear. Reach down through that right leg, back leg strong. As you exhale, release to the floor, downward facing dog. Come on down to those knees and press back to child's pose. Sit on a rock. Meditate there, the pulsation, the information, the wisdom. You know, the obvious ones are obvious. You sit by the ocean and you feel your nervous system relax. You sit up against a tree, you sit on a rock, you hold a pebble. The earth keepers, the truth keepers. Downward facing dog. Good. Step that right foot forward, open to Virabhadrasana 2 again. Then straighten that front leg. Reach for triangle pose. Nice, everybody. Draw those shoulders back. That chest, root through those legs. Good. Now bend your right knee and come into half moon pose. We're in a waning moon right now, that letting go energy. Good. Let your left hand touch down to the floor. Turn your left toes to face the floor. Then you're in a standing split. Pull your navel in so it moves up into your heart center and then drive your heart forward. And then let this left leg touch down behind you, downward facing dog. You want to take it through vinyasa, that's up to you. Meredith. Everybody, Lisa, beautiful, Margie. Lisa, and good. Left foot steps forward or backward, does something magical. And then it comes forward to Virabhadrasana 2. My favorite word is magic. Good, and then go ahead and straighten that front leg and reach for stars. Reach for your ankle. Feel that wingspan from fingertip to fingertip. Draw your throat back, nice, Jen. Yep. Head in line with spine. Bending that left knee, float it forward to half moon. Sweet. And then take your right hand down to the floor, turn your right toes to face the floor, bow into your left leg. Have to lift that left low belly a lot. Beautiful. Bring your right foot up to meet your left foot, standing forward bend. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Once you arrive, close your eyes. Just feel. What are all possibilities? So during a waning moon, it's often offered to let something go, let something die, let something resolve itself back into the earth. Keep your eyes open, hug your left knee into your chest. Come into tree pose. Left foot inner right thigh or lower above or below the knee. Try not to press the foot into the knee. The other thing is to make sure that you're not trying to square that left knee to that right hip. If it happens, great, but square the hips, hip to hip. And then favored arm position. Eyes soft. Breathing. And then lower that foot. Beautiful. Change sides. See that wonderful connection between your foot and your thigh, or your foot and your shin, your foot to floor. And again, favorite arm position. Maybe it's different on this side. Try to raise your gaze just a little bit, eyes up, even if it means you fall. And release. Gorgeous. Inhale those arms up to the sky. Once again, interlace the palms, press straight up. Navel in, middle back rounded slightly. Sit bones wide. And then right arm reaches down along the side of the body. Stretch to that right side. Reach to that right side. Now the arms up to the sky. Let the left arm float down. Reach to the left. All the way back up. Inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, look forward, grow long. And then step back to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your belly and stay. Turn your cheek to the side. Turn your cheek to the other side. And come on up to Sphinx pose. Come up to your elbows. Take your left forearm and turn so it parallels the front of your mat. Reach your right hand back for your right ankle, coming into thigh stretch. Make sure you're rooting down through that right knee, spreading through those toes. Lift the chest, soften the ribs. And smile. Say you're happy too. And change sides. Lift through the chest, pull the chest through. Beautiful. And then go ahead, release that foot, tuck your toes under, come back to Sphinx. So your forearms are parallel to each other. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up, knees up. So you're in a forearm plank. Reclaim. Know you're strong. Know you're powerful. Know you're abundant. Good. Lower this back down. Slide your hands back by your rib cage for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Lift up. Good. Lower all the way back down and flip over onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And then drop your feet down and lift up into bridge. Lift your hips up. Keep your head pressing to the floor. Sides of the throat nice and long. Maybe even clasping your hands underneath you. Give this to you. When you feel ready to come out of it, go ahead. If you want to stay a little longer, go ahead. Well, Earth is, nature is one of loving, creative, and nurturing mother. She also has no issues in her rage, fires, things that happen to destroy. It is our sacred right to honor the gifts that we share. It's our responsibility to ensure that others do too, even if it means letting out a little rumble now and then. If you've brought your hips down, go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop wide. Breathe into your belly like a soft belly. So I call it soft belly breathing while you're not necessarily engaging your navel. You're allowing the belly to inhale and expand, and then exhale, let the navel drop to the spine. Like I had suggested earlier, maybe just taking your awareness to this lower part of your body. I'm going to give you the opportunity here to either stay and enjoy your breath, move into some inversion of choice. Roots down, put your feet on the ground. hear what she says if you listen. Panchamama, reminding you that you are the Earth Mother, the Earth Father, the Earth Keeper. And shoulder stand or handstand, or bring your hips over to a wall, put your legs up the wall. Stay here for one more minute. Trust the wisdom of your body. Instead of seeing it as a lack of, see it as the wisdom, just as Mother Nature. Being with that sense of abundance. What is reclaimed? Abundance consciousness. This is the book that I'm reading for us called Goddess Reclaimed. And she says, give thanks for abundance that you already have. Thanks for everything that you already have. So that your mind is always in that place of gratitude. So simple. I know we know this. Repeat it again and again. All right, coming down from whatever inversion that you've chosen for yourself. Take a moment, if you were in shoulder stand, maybe roll your head side to side. If you're in headstand, coming into child's pose. And we'll find ourselves meeting together in a seated position for a little pranayama, a little breathing. I'm going to suggest alternate nostril breathing, but if for some reason you have sinuses that feel very congested, you can do alternate nostril breathing just by using your mind, right? You can inhale through your right nostril, exhale through your left just by your mind. You don't have to close it off, right? Because some of us have some allergies going on. If that's not the case, you can make Jnana Mudra with your left hand, thumb and first finger touch, drop that on your left knee. And bring your right thumb up towards your right nostril, close it off. Inhale, left nostril. Close off left nostril with your ring finger, open the right nostril, exhale. Stay tall, stay really tall, sit tall, spine long. Inhale, right nostril. Close it off, exhale, left. We're going to do this for 1 minute. Inhaling through one nostril, exhaling through the other. Make sure your jaw stays relaxed. Next time you exhale through that left nostril, release the hand down. Just take 1 minute in silent meditation. Stay here. Going down to lie on your back, maybe taking a final spinal twist. And then preparing for Shavasana. So gently begin to deepen your breath. Let your body begin to stretch and yawn in any way that serves you well. If you're lying down, hug your knees into your chest. Move to the right side, come on up to sit. Your hands together at your heart center. Please go play in nature today. Expand yourself. The beauty of the mother. Know yourself to be that. Power of the sun and the moon, the stars, as well as the earth and the water, the fire, the air. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding your hands to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. I love you. See you soon. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Sheryl.
you, Sheryl.
Bye now.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Goodbye. Goodbye. See ya. Love, love. Thanks, everybody. Mike, it wasn't me. Check in. Oh, check in. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Yeah,